the question is whether this is the end of American exceptionalism, and you certainly seem to believe that it is. But is it also the end of China's isolationism? Has the Trump administration, the unintended consequences of this tariff policy, as well as the way that he's going about addressing friends and foes, will it push people to actually re-engage with China?
Well, first, it's not the end of American exceptionalism, and what America is doing is absolutely exceptional, just exceptionally damaging. So it's the end of
a different kind of exceptionalism.
It's the end of American leadership, I would say. It's the end of other countries looking to the United States as a stabilizer, as a rule-based order, although that was quite frayed already, but now no one could utter those words with regard to the United States. Similarly, China was not in any way isolationist. It was the major trade partner of probably 150 countries in the world. But China has aimed for the last decades to be a responsible participant in the international system, not to put its head out too far in leadership. Deng Xiaoping famously advised China, bide your time, keep your head down. We need to rebuild after a long century and a half of economic difficulty, what they call the century of humiliation. And so Deng Xiaoping said, keep your head down. Now China can't quite keep its head down. China is under direct attack by the Trump policies, and this is one of the core dimensions of the Trump policy. Part is protecting American economy in a very naive and I think doomed to fail way. But part of it also is a hostile action vis-a-vis China, especially, which is that China must be broken in its global success story because it's a competitor with the United States. So China now has to take a more leadership role. I think China will have to enable the renminbi to play a more international currency role. It's been very gradual, step by step, but I think it's going to have to accelerate. China, I think, will accelerate the calls for the BRICS, of which, of course, India is a founding crucial member, to play a somewhat of a balancing role to the United States in the international scene, especially calling on the BRICS to reinforce their open trade with each other, because after all, the BRICS is more than 40% of the world economy. It's about half the world population. It matters a lot. And so I think that grouping is going to play a more important role. So I believe that China reflected on this and said, we're not going to be bullied, we're not going to be blackmailed, we're not going to be cornered by the United States. And so the brawl is very real right now and very dangerous.